The topic which we are studying is collisions. So let us take, so how many types of collisions are there? First we will discuss that one. So types of collisions, clear? So first one is called as perfectly elastic collision. Second one is called as inelastic collision, clear ma? Third one is called as perfectly inelastic collision. Are you able to understand? For example, this is a body of mass m1 ma, this is a body of mass m2. So this is traveling with the initial velocity of u1, this is traveling with an initial velocity of u2. So consider u1 is greater than u2, then can you say what will happen? Velocity of first ball is greater than velocity of second ball. Then what will happen? ఏం జరుగుతుందో ఏం జరుగుతుంది చెప్పండి అయ్యా. So this ball goes and strikes this first ball, no? So that is a collision happens. Clear, no ma? So first ball velocity is greater than velocity of the second ball. So definitely first ball goes and collides with the second ball. Are you able to understand, ma? So consider these two balls, they collide here. Then after collision, what will happen? After collision, their momentums will be redistributed. Here what is the momentum of first ball? Momentum is how much? m1 into u1. Here momentum? m2 into u2. Clear now? But after collision, mass of the first ball will be m1, mass of the second ball will be m2, but its velocity will be v1, velocity of this one will be v2. So momentum has changed, no? Momentum of first ball has changed, momentum of second ball also has changed. Initial momentum was m1 u1, final momentum is m1 into v1. So this is called as collision. Are you able to understand? Therefore in collisions what will happen here? Redistribution of, okay ma? So redistribution of momentum takes place. Okay, so this is what happens in the case of collision. Momentum gets redistributed. Redistributed means what? So total momentum always remains a constant, but it gets divided in among the bodies according to their speeds and their masses. Understood, no? So therefore what is meant by perfectly elastic collision? Perfectly elastic collision means here momentum is conserved. Okay ma? Momentum is conserved. What is meant by momentum is conserved? Total initial momentum is always equal to total final momentum. Law of conservation of momentum is there, no? So momentum always remains constant. And kinetic energy is also conserved. Clear ma? So in the case of elastic collision, kinetic energy also will be conserved. What is meant by kinetic energy is conserved? Total initial kinetic energy is equals to total final kinetic energy. Momentum is conserved means what? Pi is equals to Pf. So this is before collision, this is after collision. Okay ma? Similarly kinetic energy is conserved means what? Total initial kinetic energy is equals to total final kinetic energy. So both will remain to be constant. Understood, no? Then if I talk about inelastic collision, what is meant by inelastic collision? Momentum is conserved. Momentum is conserved. Kinetic energy is not conserved. Clear ma? Kinetic energy is not conserved. What is meant by kinetic energy is not conserved? So initial kinetic energy will be greater than final kinetic energy. Okay. Why initial kinetic energy is greater than final kinetic energy? Some of the kinetic energy will be lost here. After collision, bodies will lose some kinetic energy. So some of the energy is converted into heat energy, light energy, sound energy while collision. While collision you will get sound, no ma? If two bodies collide, you will get a sound, no? If similarly if two bodies collide, you may get a light also. If two bodies collides, bodies get heated up also. Okay. So light is a form of energy, sound is a form of energy, heat is a form of energy. So from where we got this energy? The energy ekkadi nunchi vachindi collision time lo? Because some of the initial kinetic energy converted into other forms of energy. Are you able to understand? It means final kinetic energy will be always less than initial kinetic energy. So there will be a loss of kinetic energy. Loss of kinetic energy will be how much? K initial minus K final. Some of the kinetic energy will be lost. So this type of collision, what we call? Inelastic collision. Momentum is always conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. Clear number? And the third type of collision is called as perfectly inelastic collision. What is meant by perfectly elastic collision here? Momentum is conserved. Okay, ma? Momentum is definitely conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. Kinetic energy is not conserved. Are you able to understand, ma? One more point is, after collision, bodies move as a single body. Okay, ma? What is the meaning of this one? After collision, both the bodies, they will combine, they will become one body and travel as a single body. Okay. So in this condition, bodies, they are getting separated after collision, no, ma? But in perfectly inelastic collision, bodies doesn't get separated. They will combine as a one body and travel as a single body. That type of collision is called as perfectly inelastic collision. And in perfectly inelastic collision, here we got some loss of kinetic energy, no, ma? In inelastic collision, we got some loss of kinetic energy. But here, the loss of kinetic energy will be maximum. Perfectly inelastic collision lo emoutundi, kinetic energy loss avutundi, but that kinetic energy loss will be maximum, chala ekkuva untundi. So therefore, what we write here? So here, loss of kinetic energy is maximum. Are you able to understand now? So this is about the three types of collision we have. We have some more collisions, more like super elastic collision is also there, but it is not present in our syllabus. We need not to discuss that one. Understood now up to here? So these are the three types of collisions which we have. Now see, if you observe this one and this one, in all the three there is one common point. Can you say what is that? In all the three of them, momentum is always conserved. In first collision also momentum is conserved, here also momentum is conserved, here also momentum is conserved. Okay. But kinetic energy is conserved in only one collision. What is that? Kinetic energy is conserved only in perfectly elastic collision. Here there is loss of kinetic energy. Here the loss of kinetic energy is maximum. In both of them, bodies will get separated after collision. But here, bodies will not get separated after collision. That is, okay, ma. See, ma, here, already this diagram we have drawn, ma. These are the initial velocities and these are the final velocities after collision. Clear now? So, at the time of collision, can you say what happens, ma? So, when these bodies will collide, when u1 will be greater than u2. That's all. So, velocity of this body should be greater than velocity of this body, then only collision will happen. Understood, no? So, at the time of collision, can you say which body is applying force on which body? First body applying force on second body. Second body is not applying force. Oh. By Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So first body applies some force on the second body also applies an equal and opposite force on the first body. This is Newton's third law, no? So it is not possible that one body applies force 10 Newton, opposite body applies only 6 Newton. This is not possible. Okay. So therefore what I will write, F12 can be written as minus F21. Now can you say what is the meaning of this one? Force applied by first body and second body is equals to the negative direction of force applied by second body and first body. Forces are vector quantities, no? Forces are vector quantities. First body is applying force in this direction. Second body is applying force in opposite direction. So definitely forces are in opposite direction. No? So that is indicated by minus symbol here. Okay. And first body applies force on the second body for 0.1 seconds. For how many seconds it is applying force? 0.1 second. Then second body will apply force on first body for how much time? Same time. So therefore what I will write F12 multiplied by delta t is equals to minus F21 multiplied by delta t. So if I multiply like this, will anything happen? No? Nothing is going to change, no? Delta t values, they are same. But what is force into time? Force into time is what? In momentum we study, no? Impulse. So therefore I will say I12 is equals to minus I21. That's all, no? So impulse acting on first body is equals to impulse acting on second body. Are you able to understand? Impulses also, they will become equal now. So this is a very important point. Many times questions were asked on this relation. Impulse applied by first body and second body is equals to impulse applied by second body on first body. Okay. Forces are also same. Time of application of force is also same. So impulse also remains same. Clear now? Now, what is impulse? One formula for impulse is force into time. There is another formula for impulse. No? What is that? Another formula of impulse. While studying impulse, we studied this one. Impulse also can be written as a change in momentum. Already we studied, no? Impulse is also called change in momentum. Are you able to understand now? Change in momentum is also called impulse. Okay. What is the change in momentum? Final momentum minus initial momentum is nothing but change. So therefore, how I can write? So m1 into v1 minus m1 into u1. So this is the change in momentum of first body. Understood, Nama? This is final momentum, m1 v1. This is initial momentum. Initial momentum m1 u1 only, no? Final momentum m1 v1 only, no? For first body. So this is equals to negative of, minus symbol we have, Nama? Negative of, what is the change in impulse in second body, can you say? m2 v2 minus m2 u2. That's all, Nama? So this is the final momentum of second body. This is the initial momentum of second body. Understood, Nama? So this is the equation which I have written. Okay. Now let us rearrange this equation. Let us rearrange this equation. If I rearrange this equation, then what I will get? So here I have a minus symbol, Nama. If it comes to this side, m1 v1 plus m2 v2, this is equals to minus of minus will become plus, no, m2 u2, and this minus m1 u1, if it comes to the other side, then it will become m1 u1. So this is the equation which I got. Understood, no? Now when you look at this equation, what do you understand? What do you understand? ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ ని చూస్తే మీకేం అర్థమైంది? What is m1 u1 plus m2 u2? This is the initial momentum of first body, initial momentum of second body. Final momentum of first body, final momentum of second body. What is the meaning of this? It means the total momentum before collision is equals to total momentum after collision. It means momentum is conserved. Momentum lo marpu emi ledhu kada. What is the momentum before collision? Same momentum is existing after collision also. So therefore we say in any type of collision, whether it is elastic, inelastic, super elastic, perfectly elastic, whatever may be the type of collision, momentum will be always conserved. Total initial momentum will be always equal to total final momentum. Understood, Nama? Come on, make a note up to here. So therefore, what is the point I will write? Point is that, so total momentum before collision is equals to total momentum after collision. Okay, ma? So this is the most important point which we understand in the case of any type of collision, whether it is elastic, inelastic, perfectly elastic, super elastic, perfectly inelastic, whatever it may be, momentum will be always conserved. Understood, Nama? Okay. Completed up to here. Then we study about kinetic energy conservation. Kinetic energy conservation. Now we are studying about which kind of collision, ma? Perfectly inelastic I have written. Oh, sorry. Perfectly elastic collision, not inelastic. First collision is perfectly elastic collision. Okay, ma? So in perfectly elastic collision, kinetic energy also will be conserved. Clear, Nama? So kinetic energy is conserved means what? I will write half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square is equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. This is the equation. Now can you say what is the meaning of this equation, ma? What is the meaning of this equation? Okay. So this is the total kinetic energy before collision. No? Kinetic energy of first body, kinetic energy of second body before collision. Kinetic energy of first body, kinetic energy of second body after collision. Kinetic energies also must be conserved. Clear, no? So therefore, if I cancel this half and half, then what I will get, I will do one thing, I will take all m1 values on one side ma. So m1 into u1 square minus v1 square. Now I will take all m2 values on one side, m2 into v2 square minus u2 square. Okay, so consider this is my first equation, or I will do one thing. So from this first equation I will write one more equation. I will take all m1 values on one side and m2 values on another side. Okay, if I take m1 common, then I have to write v1 minus u1 is equals to, here if I take m2 common, then I will get u2 minus v2. So this is my first equation. Okay, and this is my second equation. Okay, are you able to understand what is happening? Okay, so this is my first equation and this is my second equation. Okay, now let us try to divide these two equations and let us see what we will get. Okay, so from momentum equation I got one equation, from kinetic energy I got another equation. Now I will try to divide them. Okay, so I will do one thing, I will do 2 divided by 1. Okay, what is the second equation? m1 into u1 square minus v1 square divided by, here what is the m1 value we have, m1 into, so v1 minus u1 is equal to, now here we have m2 multiplied by v2 square minus u2 square divided by, here what I have, here I have m2 into u2 minus v2. This is what I have. Clear number? So here you put minus symbol, here also you put minus symbol, so that format of equations remains same. Therefore mass get cancelled. So this is in the form of a square minus b square number. So I can write it as a plus b into a minus b divided by u1 minus v1. Clear no? So this is equals to, again this is in the form of a minus b whole square. So a plus b into a minus b divided by minus of u2 minus v2 will be how much? v2 minus u2. This is the equation which I will get. So cancel this one and this one Then what is the final answer I got? I got u1 plus v1 is equals to u2 plus v2. Okay. So this is again a very important relation. Are you able to understand? So can you say what is or same equation I can write like this. I can write u1 minus u2 is equals to v2 minus v1. Same equation I can rearrange like this. Okay. Now when you look at this rearranged equation, what do you understand? Equation is chuste meeke anipisthundi. What is meant by u1 minus u2 and what is meant by v2 minus v1? Can you say ma? This is the relative velocity of approach. Relative velocity of approach. Both bodies, if they should collide, they should start approaching, no ma? Either they should move in opposite direction, or if they are moving in same direction, velocity of first body should be greater than velocity of second body. So if you subtract them, that will give the relative velocity of approach. Understood, no? For collision, approaching is compulsory, no? Clear? Now what is meant by v2 minus v1? After collision, they should get separated, no? After collision, they should get separated. So this is called as relative velocity of separation. Understood, no? So therefore, in the case of elastic collision, relative velocity of approach is equals to relative velocity of separation. Are you able to understand? So what is u1 minus u2 ma? Relative velocity of what? Approach. Okay. And what is v2 minus v1? Relative velocity of separation. అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? Clear nama? So relative velocity of approach and this is relative velocity of separation. So both of them, they are equal. And if you take the ratio of these two relative velocities of approach and separation, then it is called as E, where E is called as coefficient of restitution. What is meant by E ma? E is called as coefficient of restitution. Okay. And what is meant by E? E can be written as v2 minus v1 divided by u1 minus u2. Okay ma? What is v2 minus v1? Relative velocity of separation. What is u1 minus u2? Relative velocity of approach. Understood now? So make a note up to here. Are you able to understand how we are doing this total calculation? Okay. So from momentum equation I got one equation, from kinetic energy I got another equation. Just I am dividing both of them, then I got this equation. And when you divide both of them, then it is called as coefficient of restitution. Clear now? And see here, these two values they are equal, no? V2 minus V1 and U1 minus U2, they are equal. Equal means what? It should be equal to 1. Clear no? If you divide both of them, it should be equal to 1. So therefore, coefficient of restitution in the case of elastic collision is how much? It is equal to 1. Okay? This is another important point. Okay? Come on, make a note. So therefore, what we write? In this elastic collision, okay ma? So therefore, in elastic collision, coefficient of restitution is how much? It is equal to 1. Okay? Are you able to understand ma? Now, let us call this equation as equation number 3. Okay? And I have here equation number 1 no? So from third equation I can calculate V2 ma. V2 will be how much? V2 will be U1 minus U2 plus V1. Clear no? Let it be equation number 4. So when we substitute equation number 4 in equation number 1, then we get equation for final velocity of first body, which is called V1. Okay ma? And it is equals to m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1, clear ma? Plus 2m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. So this is the equation which we will get. Derivation I am not doing ma, you try it when you are free. Are you able to understand? So what I am doing from this third equation, first of all I am writing equation for V2. This is the equation for V2 which I get to. Take this V2 equation, substitute in momentum equation, first equation, or this equation, any equation. Then I will get V1. What is V1? Final velocity of first body. That is V1 no? V1 is final velocity of first body. Clear no? Similarly, from third equation, from same third equation, I can write equation for V1 also no ma? V1 will be how much? V1 will be equal to V2 minus U1 plus U2. This is V1 value. And consider this is equation number 5. So substituting again 5 in first equation, I will get V2. And what is V2? V2 is the final velocity of second body. And it is equals to 2m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. So this is the equation which I will get. Understood Nama? So these are the two equations for initial velocity, final velocity of first body, final velocity of second body. Derivations I am not doing. When you are free, you try the derivations. Understood Nama? That's it. So what is V1 and V2 values? These are the velocities of the bodies after collision. After collision velocities maripotai kada, and these are the equations for final velocities. Okay ma? So definitely there is some symmetry between these equations ma. You try to understand the symmetry, then you can remember these equations. Okay? Here I have 2m2, here I have 2m1. Here I have m1 minus m2, here I have m2 minus m. That is the only difference. Remaining everything is same. Fine? That's it. Okay. So what is meant by inelastic collision? Already we discussed Nama. So what is the importance of inelastic collision? Momentum will be conserved. Kinetic energy will not be conserved. It means definitely there is some loss of kinetic energy. It means initial kinetic energy will be always greater than final kinetic energy. Understood Nama? So what happened to that remaining kinetic energy ma? For example, if initial kinetic energy is 100 joules, final kinetic energy is only 80 joules. What happened to that remaining 20 joules of kinetic energy? it converted into other forms of energy while collision. For example, you should have seen two cars colliding, two cars, two bikes, two vehicles. Leda mere పరిగెత్తుకుంటూ గోడను గుద్దుకున్న అది collision. Understood now? So in this type of collision, definitely sound will be produced. No? Sound is a form of energy. Who produced this sound? The initial kinetic energy itself has converted into other forms of energy. Light may be produced while collision, heat may be produced, sound may be produced, shape of the bodies will change. Shape of the bodies change means what? Some of the kinetic energy is stored as potential energy also. Are you able to understand? So therefore, in this type of collision, definitely there will be some loss of kinetic energy. So therefore, momentum is always conserved. Total initial momentum is equal to total final momentum, that is always conserved. But initial kinetic energy before collision is greater than initial kinetic energy after collision. And what is the loss of kinetic energy? K initial minus K final. Similarly, if you solve these two equations, previously we have solved these two equations, then I got this relation. I got u1 minus u2 is equals to v2 minus v1. But here what I will get? u1 minus u2 is greater than v2 minus v1. What is the meaning of it? What is u1 minus u2? Relative velocity of approach will be always greater than relative velocity of separation. Okay? You can do one practical example also. Let us Mudassir and Vivek, let them, they start running in opposite direction with a speed of 10 meters per second if they collide. ఇద్దరు 10 meters per second స్పీడ్తో వచ్చి కొలైడ్ అయినారు అనుకోండి, అంతే స్పీడ్తో సపరేట్ కూడా అవుతారా? Is it possible? It is not possible, no? Because some of the kinetic energy will be converted into other forms of energy. Understood, no? So initial velocity of approach is always greater than initial velocity of separation. In which type of collision? In elastic collision. Clear, no? So therefore, if v2 minus v1 is less than u1 minus u2, then the ratio will be less than 1, no? So E value is less than 1 in the case of this kind of collision, no? In elastic collision. But it was equal to 1 in the case of elastic, perfectly elastic collision. Clear, no? Similarly, by solving the same equations, we will get to final velocities in inelastic collision also. And these are the equations. So m1 minus E m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 1 plus E into m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. Clear, no? Then in the second equation, just interchange. Here I have to write 1 plus E into m2, no? Take this equation here. 1 plus E into m1. Okay, ma? Here I will write m1 minus emt, no? Here I have to write m2 minus em1. Okay? So these are the equations. And see, ma, these two equations you can use for elastic collision also. Because in elastic collision, E value is how much? 1. In elastic collision, E value is 1. So if you write 1, again these equations, they will become equations for elastic collision also. Okay? So these equations you can use for elastic as well as inelastic collisions also. Are you able to understand? Come on, make it up. So therefore, the above equations are generalized equations. Generalized equations. What is meant by generalized equations, ma? They can be used for elastic as well as inelastic collision also. Okay? So can be used both for elastic and inelastic collision. Okay, ma? Can be used for elastic collision also, can be used for inelastic collision also. Is it clear? So this is about inelastic collision. Then we study about the third type of collision, which is called as perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, ma? So third one, perfectly inelastic collision. So in perfectly inelastic collision, this is satisfied, this is also satisfied, this is also satisfied. But here loss of kinetic energy will be maximum loss of kinetic energy. Clear, no, ma? And v2 minus v1 is not there. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore, what is meant by perfectly inelastic collision? after collision, bodies combine together, combine or move as a single body. Okay, ma? So what is the meaning of that? Let us see. So these two bodies, initial velocity is u1, initial velocity is u2, mass is m1, mass is m2. Okay, ma? So they collide here, and after collision what will happen? Both they will become a big body of mass m1 plus m2, and they travel with a common velocity of v. This is possible. Okay, ma? Or what they can do, so this is mass m1 with an initial velocity of u1, this is mass m2 with an initial velocity of u2. So after collision what will happen? Again they will be side by side, and again they will be traveling with a common velocity of v. Okay, ma? So this is also possible, this is also possible. They combine together and become a bigger body, and they travel with a common velocity. Or they will be side by side only, and they will be traveling with a common velocity. Understood, no? So it means here these bodies, they are not getting separated, no? After collision, are they getting separated, ma? They are not getting separated. So relative velocity of separation will be how much? 0. Understood, no, ma? So therefore what we write? Therefore we write, okay, ma? Relative velocity of separation will be how much? It will be 0. Understood, no? Therefore what is the coefficient of restitution? v2 minus v1 divided by u1 minus u2. So 0 divided by u1 minus u2 is equal to 0. Okay, are you able to understand what is happening? So collision tarvata asal separate avatan ledhu kada avi, they are not getting separated. If they are not getting separated, relative velocity of separation will be 0. Clear, nama? Therefore what is the coefficient of restitution? v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2, no? v2 minus v1 is 0. So coefficient of restitution also will be 0. That's it. Are you able to understand? Therefore E value is equal to 1 for which collision, ma? For a perfectly elastic collision. E value is less than 1 for which collision, ma? Inelastic collision. Okay, ma? E value is equals to 0 for which collision, ma? For perfectly inelastic collision. Understood? So these are about the 3 types of collisions which we have in one-dimensional motion. Okay. Then we study collisions in 2 dimensions also. Okay, ma? Right. Cases they are in which collision, ma? They are in elastic collision. Okay, ma? So in elastic collision we are studying some cases, ma? Because they are very important. Direct questions were asked many times in the previous examinations on these cases. So if you remember the cases, you need not do the calculation. Directly you can do the problem. Directly you can search the options and select the option. Understood, no? So what are the cases? Case number 1 is a target body is at rest position. It means this is the target body, no, ma? Second body is at rest position, only first body is moving. Are you able to understand? Now let us see what will be the velocities after collision, ma? Clear? What is the velocity, final velocity of first body? So m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1, clear, no, ma? Plus 2m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. That's all, no? So this total term will become 0, no? Why this total term will become 0? Because u2 is 0, no? So this total term will become 0. So therefore what is v1? v1 is equals to, so m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1. That's all. This is the equation. Understood, no? Similarly, what is the final velocity of second body? 2m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. That's all, no? Again this total term will become 0. So therefore what is the equation for v2? I will get, ma? So 2m1 u1 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is the final answer which I will get. Are you able to understand, ma? So these are the velocities after collision if second body is in rest position. Okay. It means this total term will become 0. This total term also will become 0 because u2 value is 0, no? అర్థమవుతుంది కదా. నౌ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ కేస్ number 1, okay ma, I will write a sub case. What is the sub case? Masses are equal, m1 is equal to m2. Okay, what is the first case I have written? Only first body is moving, second body is in rest position. In that again, what is the sub case I am taking? Now masses also equal, so it means this is a 2 kg body, this is also a 2 kg body. Okay, then in this condition, can you say how V1 will change ma? How V1 will change? V1 will become 0. Are you able to understand? Because m minus m 0, masses are equal, no? M minus m 0, so therefore V1 will become 0. What about V2? V2 will be how much? So 2m u1 divided by 2m. Clear nama? So 2m gets cancelled, I will get u1. Okay, so therefore V1 is 0, V2 is u1. Can you say what is the meaning of this result? ఇది చూస్తే మీకు ఏమర్థమవుతుంది? వాట్ డూ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్? చెప్పండి. Which body? First body. See ma, here only first body is moving, no? What is the velocity of first body? u1. And v1 is its final velocity, no? But what is the final velocity? 0. It means the first body after collision it will stop. అంతే కదా. ఫస్ట్ బాడీ వస్తుంది, సెకండ్ బాడీని స్ట్రైక్ అయ్యి అది రెస్ట్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఇమీడియట్లీ దట్ బాడీ గోస్ ఇన్ టు రెస్ట్ పొజిషన్. నౌ వాట్ ఈస్ మెంట్ బై v2 is equals to u1? v2 means the final velocity of second body, no? Second body is traveling with how much velocity after collision? It is traveling with the velocity of u1. But what is u1? Initial velocity of first body. So it means velocities have interchanged. Velocities interchange చేసుకున్నాయి. Initially this body was rest, no? Finally this body is in rest position. Initial velocity of this body is u1, no? Final velocity of this body is u1. It means they have interchanged the velocities. Are you able to understand? So therefore if masses are equal, masses equal గా ఉంటే కొలిజన్ తర్వాత ఏం జరుగుతుంది? వెలాసిటీస్ నవి మార్చుకుంటాయి. దే విల్ ఇంటర్చేంజ్ దేర్ వెలాసిటీస్ ఆఫ్టర్ కొలిజన్. ఇన్ విచ్ కేస్ ఇఫ్ masses are equal. Okay, if second body is in rest position, first body goes into rest position after collision. First body is traveling with a velocity of 2 meters per second. Second body will travel with a speed of 2 meters per second after collision. Understood? So therefore what is the note point I will write? Note point is that if masses are equal, what bodies will do ma? Bodies will interchange the velocities. Understood nama? For example, initially it was traveling with 2 meters per second. Okay ma? And mass is a 4 kg body. Mass of this one is also 4 kg body. After collision what will happen? This body will take velocity of 2. This body will take velocity of 3. That is what will happen. ఇది రెస్ట్లో ఉంది కాబట్టి ఇది రెస్ట్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. దీనికి ఎంతో కొంత వెలాసిటీ ఉంటే దీనికి ఇంకో వెలాసిటీ ఉంటుంది. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ జస్ట్ డ్రా ఏ డయాగ్రామ్ సో దట్ యూ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్. So mass is m, here also mass is m. Its velocity is 4 meters per second. Its velocity is 2 meters per second. Okay ma? After collision what will happen ma? After collision this body is mass m, this body is mass m. But what is the velocity of this body? Velocity of this body will become 2 meters per second. Velocity of this body will become 4 meters per second. So velocities will get interchanged if masses are equal. In the same elastic collision, case number 2, target body is very small. It means the first body is a very big body, second body is a very small body. First body Shakir Saru, second body Umesh Yadav anamata. Ante iga. Okay ma? So this is body of mass m1 traveling with a velocity of u1. So this is a very small body, mass m2, traveling with the velocity of u2. Understood? So after collision what will happen? So let us see. So what is the equation for V1 ma? So m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1, clear na ma? Plus 2m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. This is the equation. See ma, when compared to m1, m2 is a very small body, no? m2 is very small. So m2 is so small that you can neglect that one. Are you able to understand? So here if you see, you can neglect this m2, no? In the comparison with m1, m2 is very small. This is 1000 kg body anukondi. This is 10 gram body anukondi. Clear now? There is no comparison, no? So you need not write m1 here. Similarly here also, m2 is very small. Very small value divided by very big value, almost 0. Clear now? So therefore what I can write v1 is equals to m divided by m multiplied by u1. Because I am neglecting m2, I am neglecting m2. Only I have m1 and m1. Clear? If they both cancel, then what I will get v1 is equals to u1. Okay, ma? Similarly, what about final velocity of second body? v2 is equals to 2m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m1 minus m2 divided by, correct only, na? m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. So this is the final velocity of second body. Understood, Nama? Now can you see? So in this condition, again m1 is much greater than m2, Nama? m1 is much greater than m2. So therefore here this m2 you can neglect. Clear, no? So therefore v2 will be 2m1 by m1 into u1 plus, and here this m2 minus m1, Nama? m2 I can write minus m1 divided by m1 multiplied by u2. This is what I can write. Clear, Nama? So therefore v2 is equals to m1 if I get cancelled. So 2u1 minus u2. So this is the final velocity of second body. Second body means which body, ma? Smaller body. Are you able to understand? Now here what do you observe? What are the results which I got, ma? v1 is equals to u1. That is the result which I got, no? v1 is equals to u1 and v2 I got this equation. So what do you understand? Em arthamaindi cheppandi meeku? Velocity of first body will never change. That is what I understand, no? Final velocity of first body is equals to initial velocity of the same body. It means bigger body's velocity will never change. అంటే ఏనుగు పోతా ఉంటే కుక్కలు మురిగినట్టు అనమాట. ఏం పట్టించుకోదు. అట్లే నేను పరిగెత్తపోయినప్పుడు ఉమేష్ వచ్చినాడంటే అంతే. మై వెలాసిటీ విల్ నెవర్ చేంజ్. ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ బా? సో velocity of first body will never change. But this is the equation for velocity of second body. Are you able to understand? So therefore what I will write, velocity of bigger body never changes. Clear, number? So in this one I will write another sub case. In the same case number 2 I will write one sub case. What is the sub case? M2 is at rest. Okay, ma? What is meant by M2 is at rest? M2 is a very small body, no? And M2 is at rest position. Only bigger body is traveling and colliding with the smaller body. Smaller body is in rest position. So rest position means what? U2 value will be 0. So now if you take this V1 is equals to U1 only. Velocity of bigger body will never change, no? But what about velocity of smaller body? So that one V2 is equals to 2U1 minus 0 because U2 is 0, no? So therefore what I will get? V2 is equals to 2U1. So this is another very important result which you should remember. 2 into U1. U1. Yes. V1. What is V1? Final velocity of bigger body. That's all. No? Final velocity of bigger body will never change. But what happens to the final velocity of smaller body? Its velocity becomes a double to that of bigger body. Initial velocity of bigger body. Are you able to understand, ma? So, నేను ఉమేష్ రెస్ట్లో ఉన్నాడు. నేను 20 meters per second వెళ్ళాను. ఉమేష్ని కొట్టినాను. ఉమేష్ ఏమవుతాడు? నా వెలాసిటీ my initial velocity is 20. Final velocity Umesh will be 40. But my velocity doesn't change. That is the condition. Are you able to understand? నేను పోయి గుద్దుతారు, నా వెలాసిటీ ఏం మారదు. ఆయన వెలాసిటీ మాత్రము నా వెలాసిటీ కన్నా డబుల్ అయిపోతుంది అనమాట. ఇన్ విచ్ కండిషన్? వెన్ స్మాలర్ బాడీ ఈజ్ ఇన్ రెస్ట్ పొజిషన్, రెస్ట్లో ఉన్నాం. ఇస్ ఇట్ క్లియర్? సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ అండర్స్టాండ్ by the results. Okay, so here what is the note point I can write? Note point is that velocity of smaller body becomes double to that of initial velocity of bigger body. Okay, so whatever results we are getting, all of them you should remember very, very carefully, because direct questions can be asked on the results. Direct question అడిగితే ఇంకా మీరు పెన్ను పేపర్ పెట్టాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఓహో, షాకిర్ సార్ ఉమేష్ యాదవ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కదా ఏం చెప్పడము, ఆన్సర్ చేసేయడం అంతే. క్లియర్? సో కేస్ నెంబర్ 3, టార్గెట్ బాడీ is a very big body and that body is in rest position. So M2 is much greater than M1, but it is in rest position. Only smaller body is colliding with the bigger body. Then let us see what will happen. So what is V1? M1 minus M2 divided by M1 plus M2 into U1 plus 2M2 divided by M1 plus M2 into U2. That's all, Rama. Target body is in rest position, so U2 is 0, so this total term will become 0. Now I am left with only this term. M1 is very small. So you can neglect it. Only you are left with M2. So minus M2 divided by M2 multiplied by U1. Okay, my M2 gets cancelled. So minus U1. So what is meant by V2 is equals to minus U1? V2 no, V1. V1 is equals to minus U1. What is it? V1 is final velocity of first body. No? So final velocity of first body is exactly opposite velocity to that of its own velocity. Its velocity initially U1 only, no? Final velocity also U1, but in opposite direction. Okay. Next, what about V2? 2M1 divided by M1 plus M2 into U1 plus 0. Plus 0, no? Because U2 is always 0. So therefore V2. M1 is very, very small number, so total value is almost 0. Okay. It means bigger body doesn't move. Only smaller body, it returns back with same velocity. So అవుతుంది కదా, పెద్ద గోడకు బాలేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? బాలే వెనక్కి వస్తుంది తప్పితే గోడకేమీ కాదు. దట్స్ ద కండిషన్. క్లియర్? So these are the conditions which you should remember in the case of, and see all these cases we have studied in elastic collision. These are not the cases in inelastic or perfectly inelastic. Cases only for elastic collision. You should not forget this one. Clear? That's it. Means that previously bodies always they were traveling in the same straight line. No? Either they were traveling along x-axis or either they were traveling along y-axis. Now this is a combination of both x-axis as well as y-axis. Now bodies are traveling along x-axis also, they are traveling along y-axis also. So this type of collision, if we want to study, then that is called as collisions in 2 dimensions. And in 2 dimensions also we have elastic collision, and we have inelastic collision, and here also we have perfectly inelastic collision. Clear, no? So again, what is meant by perfectly inelastic collision? After collision, bodies will become one body and they will travel like a single body. That is called perfectly inelastic collision. So elastic collision means what? Momentum is conserved. Clear, no? Kinetic energy is also conserved. Inelastic collision means momentum is conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. Clear, no? There is some loss of kinetic energy. Similarly, perfectly elastic means again here momentum is conserved. Loss of kinetic energy is maximum. Loss of kinetic energy is maximum. Same conditions. What are the conditions we study in elastic collision? Same condition here also. Are you able to understand now? So for example, if I want to study about elastic collision. Elastic collision. Okay. So momentum should be conserved, no? Elastic collision means what? Definitely momentum must be conserved. So momentum is conserved means here bodies are traveling in 2 dimensions, no ma? So we have to study separately motion along x-axis. We have to study motion separately along y-axis. So momentum along x-axis will be conserved and momentum along y-axis also will be conserved. Okay. So therefore I will write total initial momentum along x-axis is equals to total initial momentum along total final momentum along x-axis. Similarly, we write total initial momentum along y-axis is equals to total final momentum about y-axis. Clear, no? And kinetic energy doesn't depend on direction, no? Energy is a scalar quantity, it doesn't depend on direction. So kinetic energy is always conserved. So total initial kinetic energy is equal to total final kinetic energy. Okay, ma? Now can you say how can I write momentum equation along x-axis? Momentum equation ni x-axis paina rayalante ela rayali? Can you see? How can I write momentum equation along x-axis? Cheppandi. Very simple, just split these vectors into components, take only x components, then momentum will be conserved along x-axis. Then you take all the y components, conserve all of them along y-axis. That's it. Okay, ma? How can I split this u1 into 2 components? So all vectors I am writing here, ma? This is u1, no? Initial velocity of first body. How much angle it is making? Theta 1 angle. So split this one into 2 components. So this is theta 1, no? So u1 cos theta 1 and this is u1 sin theta. That's all, no? First body. Now you take the second body, u2. u2 is making how much angle? u2 is making an angle of theta 2. So split that one again into 2 components. Okay, ma? So this is u2 cos theta 2 adjacent side, u2 sin theta 2, this is the opposite side. Similarly, you take first body after collision. Okay, ma? This is v1. Okay, ma? So v1 is making how much angle, ma? It is making an angle of theta 3. So split this one into 2 components. Clear, na? So adjacent component v1 cos theta 3, opposite component v1 sin theta 3. That's all. Now you take the fourth velocity. Which is the fourth velocity? Fourth velocity is v2 and it is making an angle of theta 4. So split this one into 2 components. Adjacent side is v2 cos theta 4, opposite side is v2 sin theta 4. That's it. So we have split into components. Now you take only components along x-axis, then momentum will be conserved along x-axis. Take only momentum along y-axis, momentum will be conserved along y-axis. Okay, come on, substitute. So if I take along x-axis, okay, mass of the first body is m1 and what is its velocity along x-axis, ma? u1 cos theta 1. Similarly, what is the second body? m2. And what is its initial velocity along x-axis? This one, u2 cos theta 2. u2 cos theta 2. Initial velocity. Similarly, write momentum along x-axis, final momentum. Mass is m1. What is the final velocity along x-axis? v1 cos theta 1. v1 cos theta 3, sorry. Plus mass, second body is mass m2. And what is its final velocity along x-axis, ma? v2 cos theta 4. This is the equation which I have to write. Just we are taking all the momentums along x-axis and we are writing in momentum equation. That's it. Similarly, you take all the equations along, all the velocities along y-axis, write the momentum equation. Come on. Okay, ma? So therefore, how can I write along y-axis? Along y-axis. Okay, ma? So upwards direction you take positive, ma? Downwards direction you take negative. Because their velocities, no? Momentum is a vector quantity. Directions must be carefully taken. So mass of first body is m1, and what is its initial velocity along y-axis? Minus u1 sine theta 1. This is negative value. Why negative value? It is traveling towards negative y-axis, no? So minus u1 sine theta 1. Okay, ma? Plus mass of the second body is m. And what is its velocity, ma? Second body. This is positive because it is towards positive y-axis, no? So u2 sine theta 2. u2 sine theta 2. Okay, ma? So this is equals to m1, final velocity along y-axis. Final velocity along y-axis, this is positive, this is negative. Clear, no, ma? So therefore, m1 into v1 sine theta 3 plus m2, mass of the second body is minus v2 sine theta 4. Okay, ma? So this is the momentum equation along y-axis. Very simple concept now. So similarly, if you take kinetic energy equation, kinetic energy doesn't have any direction, no, ma? Just you can write in a scalar form. So I can write half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square is equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. Because total initial kinetic energy and total finite kinetic energy, they are always equal in the case of elastic collision. That's all. And for which collision, ma? For elastic collision. So if I want to study about inelastic collision, then what are the changes we have to do, ma? Inelastic collision kavalante em cheyali? See, ma, these equations remain same, no? Equation of momentum along x-axis, equation of momentum along y-axis, they will never change. Because momentum is always conserved, whatever may be the type of collision. Okay? So these equations, they doesn't change. Then what is the change in inelastic collision? Kinetic energy doesn't remain constant. It means here just instead of is equal to, you have to write greater than. Here also you have to write greater than. Then these will be the equations for which collision? Inelastic collision. That's it. That's not only the momentum never changes. Momentum is conserved along x-axis. Momentum is also conserved along y-axis. Only initial kinetic energy is greater than final kinetic energy. There will be some loss of kinetic energy. So what is the loss of kinetic energy? Loss of kinetic energy is equals to k initial minus k final. Clear, nama? So write down. In inelastic collision, momentum equations remain same. In inelastic collision, momentum equations remain same. Okay, ma? But kinetic energy is not conserved. Clear, no, ma? So therefore you write this relation. Half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square is greater than half m1 v1 square. So right up to here. Okay, ma? So just they are the equations for inelastic collision. Clear? Then what is meant by perfectly inelastic collision, ma? Perfectly inelastic collision means what? Chapandi, after collision what happens? Bodies, they combine and they move like a common body. Momentum there also is conserved, no, ma? Momentum is conserved in perfectly inelastic collision also, but kinetic energy is not conserved. Okay? So perfectly inelastic collision. Okay? So therefore what will happen? Consider this is one body and this is another body. This is traveling with a velocity of u1. Okay, ma? Okay? And this one is traveling with a velocity of u2. So let us consider it is making an angle of theta or theta 1. So this is mass m1, this is mass m2. Clear, ma? So after collision, what will happen after collision? Let us consider they have collided. Let us draw this body here, that is better. mass m2, and this is traveling with the velocity of u2. Okay. So it is also two-dimensional collision only, number. This body is traveling only along x-axis, but its motion is along x-axis as well as y-axis. So after collision, consider they collide somewhere here. Then after collision, what happens, ma? They become one body of mass m1 plus m2, and it starts traveling in this direction with a common velocity, which is making an angle of theta. Theta 1 I have taken, no? Let us take this as theta 2. Understood, no? So here also same concept. Split all the vectors into components. Take momentum along x-axis, take momentum along y-axis. Now you can do momentum equation, no need of writing. Understood, no? But after collision, they will have a common velocity, that you should not forget. Okay. And here also there will be loss of kinetic energy, which is equals to k initial minus k final, and this will be maximum. Loss of kinetic energy will be maximum. That's it. Okay. That's all. So this completes our theory part on collisions. Understood, no? So how many types of collisions we have studied, ba? 3 types of collisions: elastic, inelastic, and perfectly inelastic collisions. So again we have studied collisions in 1 dimensions, collisions in 2 dimensions. Whatever may be the type of collision, momentum is always conserved, but in elastic collision, kinetic energy is also conserved. But in remaining 2 types of collisions, kinetic energy is not conserved. Chapandi. So these are the masses, they are traveling on frictionless surface. So collision is head on, and it is elastic also. Okay, ma? What is meant by head on collision? Head on collision means 1 dimensional collision. They are colliding only along x-axis or either on y-axis. That is called as head on collision. And elastic collision. Elastic collision means what? Momentum is also conserved, kinetic energy is also conserved. Okay, ma? So what are the equations of final velocities? So what is the final velocity of first body, ma? So m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. That's all, no? So substitute here. Mass of the first body is m. So m minus 2m divided by 3m multiplied by initial velocity of first body is 10. So 2 into 2m divided by 3m multiplied by 5. So m gets cancelled. So minus 1 by 3 into 10 plus m get cancelled. So 4 5s are 20 by 3. Clear, number? So therefore, if I take LCM as 3 minus 10 plus 20. So plus 10 by 3 meters per second. That is the initial velocity of first body. Sorry, final velocity of first body. Clear, number? Similarly, you can calculate final velocity of second body also. No? What is the equation? So 2m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. So just do this calculation. That is our required answer. Okay, ma? Just equations based. So if I do the same problem such that if velocity of second body is in opposite direction, then how can you do this problem? Case is that if velocity of second body is in opposite direction, then can you say how can you do this problem? Ma? Second body, if it is moving in opposite direction, then how can you solve? Previously it was moving in this direction. If it would have been moving in opposite direction, then how can you do this problem? Into minus 5, that's all. So this direction of velocities, if you take positive, opposite direction you should take negative number. So 10 is definitely plus 10.
Okay, but phi will become minus 1 if it is moving in opposite direction. Okay, so do one calculation, calculate V1 and see what is the answer you will get. How much? Minus 10 you got. Okay, let us see. So therefore, this remains to be same, no? This remains to be minus 10 by 3, minus 10 divided by 3. What about this one? Minus 20 by 3, minus 20 divided by 3. So therefore, so minus 30 divided by 3, it is equals to minus 10 meters per second. Clear, no? And what does minus 10 indicate? Minus 10 ಏನು చూపిస్తుంది? Minus 10 indicates that this body after collision, it starts moving in opposite direction. That is what we understood. Clear? Come on. Okay, so let us see this question. So a particle of mass m moving with some velocity, what is that velocity? It is not given, ma? Clear? So therefore consider this is a particle of mass m moving with a particular velocity u. Velocity of the particle is not given, no, ma? So we are considering its velocity to be u, and it is a smooth surface, so coefficient of friction is 0. So strikes another particle of mass eta into m. Okay, ma? And initially it is in rest position. So elastically and head-on collision. Elastic means elastic collision, head-on means in one dimension. Clear, no? So what fraction of incident kinetic energy is transferred to the particle of mass eta into m? See, if this particle goes and strikes this particle, definitely this particle also will set into motion, no? Unless it is a very, very big particle, it will be in rest position. But in general conditions, definitely this body also will move in forward direction. Okay. So therefore, what is meant by amount of fraction of kinetic energy transferred? Fraction of kinetic energy transferred. Clear now? How can I write this one? It is equals to half eta m into its a final velocity, let it be v2 square, divided by, and initial kinetic energy totally is possessed by first body only, no, so I will write half m u square. So if I can calculate this one, this is my required answer. Are you able to understand? So what is a half eta m into v2 square? This is the kinetic energy obtained by second body after collision. After collision, definitely this body will set into motion, no? So that kinetic energy is this one, half mv square. What is this half mv square? This is the total initial kinetic energy. Initially, only this body is having kinetic energy, no, because this was in rest position. So the amount of kinetic energy obtained by second body divided by total kinetic energy, you will get a fraction of kinetic energy. That's all. Okay. Every value we have, no, only v2 square we don't know. What is the final velocity of second body? That I don't know. How can I calculate? How can I calculate final velocity of second body, ma? Either you can calculate by velocity relation or you can calculate by momentum relation also. Momentum relation also we have, no, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. By momentum relation also you can calculate, or by velocity relation also you can calculate. So what is the equation for final velocity of second body, ma? So 2m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into u2. Okay, come on, substitute in this relation, you will get v2. So take this v2, substitute here and see what is the answer you will get. Okay, come on, do the calculation. So u2 is 0, no, so this total term will become 0. So v2 is equals to 2m divided by m plus eta m multiplied by initial velocity, let it be u. Clear now? So m, everything will get cancelled. So 2 divided by 1 plus eta into u. So take this equation of v and substitute here. Then what I will get? Half eta m multiplied by v2 square. So 2u divided by 1 plus eta whole square divided by half m u square. So half m will get cancelled. clear number. So therefore eta into 4u square divided by 1 plus eta whole square divided by, now what I am left with? I am left with u square. Okay, so u square and u square will get cancelled, so therefore it is 4 eta divided by 1 plus eta whole square. So that should be the final answer which I should get. Okay, so try to see whether you get the same answer or not. The question, ma? So a bullet of mass m moving with a velocity u, clear, ma? So consider here there is a block of mass m present on a frictionless surface, clear, ma? So from here this is a bullet. So what is the mass of the bullet? Small m, and initially it is moving with a velocity of u. On a smooth surface, strikes a block of mass m at rest position. Okay, ma? So its initial velocity is 0. It is in rest position. So collision is elastic collision, perfectly inelastic. Completely inelastic means what? Perfectly inelastic collision. That is the collision. Then find the common velocity and fractional loss in kinetic energy. Understood, no, ma? So therefore, can you say what is meant by completely inelastic collision, ma? What is meant by completely inelastic collision? After collision, both bodies, they become one body and travel as a common body. That is the meaning of it. That is called perfectly inelastic collision. No? It means after collision, what is happening? This is the mass of capital M, and bullet will be embedded inside this block. Bullet goes and it will settle in the block, and both of them, they start moving with a common velocity of v. So that is called as perfectly inelastic collision. Adhe the perfectly inelastic ante. After collision, both bodies, they become one body. How it is possible? If bullet goes and embeds in this mass, then both of them, they travel with a common velocity. Understood, Nama? So how can I find out this common velocity? Common velocity, how can I calculate? कौन सा था? नहीं तो मैं क्या करना, वो क्लास बोलता हूँ, आंसर आता है बाइक की सेंटर. Everybody, can you say, ma, how can I calculate final velocity? Final common velocity, how can I calculate? చెప్పండి. Conservation of mass. Momentum conservation should be always followed, no? Whatever may be the type of collision, momentum is always conserved. Already we discussed, no, ma? ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ కొలిషన్ అయినా సరే మొమెంటం ఖచ్చితంగా కాన్స్టెంట్గానే ఉండాలి. ఇనీషియల్ మొమెంటం అండ్ ఫైనల్ మొమెంటం మస్ట్ బి ఈక్వల్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇనీషియల్ మొమెంటం? సో m1 u1 ప్లస్ m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is the momentum equation. So what is the mass of first body? Small m, and its velocity is u. Mass of second body is capital M, but its final initial velocity is 0. So then small m plus capital M, both of them, they start moving with a common velocity number v. So therefore, what is the v value? V value is mu divided by m plus m. Okay, ma? So this is the common velocity with which these masses, they start moving. Understood, no? Okay. Then again, what he is asking, fractional loss in kinetic energy. What is meant by fractional loss in kinetic energy? Clear, ma? So fractional loss means what? So loss of kinetic energy divided by total initial kinetic energy. This is called fractional loss, number. Loss of kinetic energy divided by what? Division means comparison, no? So loss of kinetic energy compared with original kinetic energy, that is before collision. That will give the fractional loss in kinetic energy. Understood, no? Then loss of kinetic energy, how can I calculate? Loss of kinetic energy is equals to total initial kinetic energy minus total final kinetic energy. Okay, ma? And divided by initial kinetic energy. So what is the total initial kinetic energy before collision? Only this mass have velocity, no, ma? So therefore, initial kinetic energy, how can I write down? So it is half m u square. So this is the total initial kinetic energy. Clear, no? This mass is in rest position, no, ma? So this body doesn't have any kinetic energy. Only this mass has initial kinetic energy. Minus of final kinetic energy. Finally, which bodies have kinetic energy? Finally, both of them, they are combining like a single body, no? So both of them, they have some kinetic energy moving with a common velocity of v. Clear, no? So therefore, final kinetic energy half m plus m multiplied by v square. This is the final kinetic energy. So this relation you divide by initial kinetic energy, and final equation of velocity also I have calculated, no? So substitute that v there, then do the total calculation, you will get the answer. Have you understood? Come on, change money. So therefore, fractional loss is equals to, so half mu square minus half m plus m into equation of final velocity is m square u square divided by m plus m whole square divided by initial kinetic energy is, what is the initial kinetic energy? It is half m u square. Just do this calculation, that will be our required answer. Okay, so square and one value will get cancelled, so half everything will get cancelled. So therefore mu square minus, so m square u square divided by m plus m divided by mu square. Clear number? So mu square will get cancelled. So therefore, so 1 minus 1 by m plus m. Clear? So therefore, m plus m minus 1 divided by m plus m. Okay? So check whether we have done correctly or not. That is the answer which I got. Okay. So some mistake we have done previously. Now see what are the terms which you can cancel? Mu square, this u square and m square will get cancelled. Square of m will get cancelled, but m will be there, no? Because this is m square u square. So therefore 1 minus m divided by m plus m. So therefore m plus m minus m divided by m plus m. So plus m minus m will get cancelled. So m by m plus m. So this is the fractional loss in kinetic energy. Understood now? That's it. Very simple. So this is a pendulum. Mass of the pendulum is capital M, and initially it was in rest position. Clear now? Length of the pendulum is L. So a bullet of mass m, it is coming and striking this capital M with an initial velocity of u, and mass of capital M is given as 3m. Clear now? Now the question is, if collision is completely inelastic, then find the maximum angle made by the mass with respect to vertical. Okay? Drilling చేస్తానండి, teaching చెప్తాను అన్నట్టు ఉంటుందిరా. Okay, Sima. So, what is meant by completely inelastic collision? After collision, bullet goes and embeds in that mass, and both of them, they move like a common body. Clear now? It means after collision, what happens? This mass will gain certain velocity, and with that velocity, maybe it reaches up to here. Okay, ma'am? With the bullet present inside this mass. Clear now? Then how much angle it is making with respect to vertical? That is maximum angle with which it can make with respect to vertical. That he is asking us to find out. Now can you say what is meant by maximum angle made? Remember, vertical circular motion. What is meant by maximum angle made? Maximum angle is nothing but angular amplitude, no ma? Angular amplitude. Okay? So at the bottom of the particle, to this particle, if you give certain velocity, clear no ma? Then it will reach up to some angle where its final velocity will become 0. ఇక్కడ ఒక వెలాసిటీ మీరు ఇచ్చినారంటే కొంచెం యాంగిల్ కవర్ చేసిన తర్వాత దాని ఫైనల్ వెలాసిటీ ఏమవుతుంది? 0. దట్ యాంగిల్ కవర్డ్ బై ద పార్టికల్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ యాంగులర్ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్. ఆల్రెడీ వీ స్టడీడ్. అండ్ డూ యూ రిమెంబర్ ద ఫార్ములా ఫర్ యాంగులర్ యాంప్లిట్యూడ్? వీ కాల్డ్ దట్ వన్ యాజ్ ఆల్ఫా. దిస్ యాంగిల్ వీ కాల్డ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఆల్ఫా. Alpha is that angle where velocity of the particle will become 0. Already we studied. Do you remember equation for alpha? Cos inverse of 2gl minus u square divided by 2gl. This was the equation which we studied now. So just if you can find out this alpha value, that is my required answer. Okay. But the problem is, what is the initial velocity that I don't know. What is meant by initial velocity? The velocity with which mass and bullet they are moving, that I don't know. So this velocity, how can I calculate? Can you say anybody? How can I calculate with what velocity mass and this bullet they start moving? Anybody? Chapandi. Conservation of momentum. Sima, this bullet goes and embeds in this mass, no? Then why can't you use law of conservation of momentum? What is law of conservation of momentum? m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Clear now? What is the mass of the first body? Mass of the bullet is m. And what is its velocity? Its velocity is already given, nama, u root gl. So u root gl. Mass of the pendulum is how much? 0. It doesn't have any velocity. Okay, ma? And after collision, what is happening? After collision, both of them, they are moving like a single body with a common velocity of u. That's all, no, ma? So therefore, what are the masses here? One is m, another one is 3m. So 4m. 4m multiplied by u. Just we are using law of conservation of momentum. That's it. Clear, no, ma? So therefore, m and m, if they get cancelled, then u is equals to how much, ma? So 4 root gl divided by 4. 4 and 4 get cancelled, so root gl. So therefore, this mass and this bullet, they are travelling with how much initial velocity? Root gl. So once they travel with the velocity of root gl, I can calculate up to how much angle they can reach, no? By using angular amplitude equation. So substitute here. So therefore, alpha is equals to cos inverse of 2gl minus u square. Instead of u square, I can write gl divided by 2gl. Clear, no, ma? So how much I got? I got a cos inverse of 1 by 2. Cos inverse of 1 by 2? 60 degrees. So therefore, alpha is equals to 60 degrees. It means if bullet goes and strikes this mass travels up to an angle of 60 degrees. That is my answer. Okay? So combination of momentum and vertical circular motion. Fine? Come on, make a note. Okay, ma? So, say this question, ma. So here there is a spring, ma, which is connected to two masses, m and 2m. Ma. This is 2m mass. Clear, no? And they are connected by a spring of spring constant k, and they are resting on a frictionless surface. So here there is one more mass moving with a velocity of v0. So this mass goes and strikes this system, and collision is what kind of collision? It is an elastic collision. Are you able to understand? Then what is the velocity of center of mass that I am supposed to calculate? Are you able to understand, ma? And what will be the maximum compression produced in the spring? Spring will be compressed by how much maximum angle, how much maximum distance, or what is the maximum compression which is produced in the spring. Okay. Now can you say what happens, ma? How can I do this problem? So if this mass comes and strikes this mass, can you say what happens immediately? Body of mass m. This is also a body of mass m. Collision is elastic. What do you understand? We have studied some cases, Nama, previously. So this is also one of the case. Can you say what is that case? Can you identify that case? Sima, if masses are same, this is also mass m, this is also mass m. If same masses, if they collide elastically, then what will happen? Velocities will get interchanged. Cases lo chadukunnam kada manam already. If same masses, if they collide, then what happens to the velocities? Velocities will get interchanged. That means after collision, this body will get a mass of v0 and this body will go into rest position. Why? Because initially it was in rest position, no? Initially, second body was in rest position. First body was traveling with a velocity of v0.
So after collision, what will happen? Because masses are equal, velocities will get interchanged. So therefore, what I say, so velocity of colliding body, let us call it as m1, okay ma? So velocity of m1 after collision will be how much? After collision will be 0. Are you able to understand ma? So velocity of m2, which one shall I call it as m2? Let us call it as m2. Velocity of m2 after collision will be how much? It will be v0. Satisfied? Because masses are equal, after collision immediately velocities will get interchanged. Still this body has not compressed much, just its velocity has become v0. Still there is no compression. Are you able to understand? Once it starts moving, then the spring is going to compress. Okay, now up to here it is clear. Now if you see, what is the velocity of center of mass of the system? Okay, ma? See ma, if this mass starts moving, then center of mass also starts movement, no? So this total, I can call it as one system. Are you able to understand ma? And after collision, there are no external forces, no ma? At the time of collision only, external forces are present. After collision, there are no external forces. So definitely center of mass travels with a constant velocity. Okay. How can I calculate velocity of center of mass? Velocity of center of mass, how can I calculate? m1 v1 dash plus m2 v2 dash divided by m1 plus m2. Okay ma? So let us calculate immediately after collision. Immediately after collision. Immediately after collision, velocity of first body, this one. Velocity of this body is how much? v0, no? So initial velocity, or you can call any velocity, no problem. What about v2? What is the velocity of second body immediately after collision? What is the velocity of second body immediately after collision? No velocity, zero velocity. Okay? Only this body got velocity, no? When this body gets velocity, ee body ki velocity eppudu vastundi? When this body starts traveling and when spring compresses, and that compressed spring will push this body. Then only second body will move, no ma? Now what has happened? This body has collided with this body. Only this body has got some velocity. Velocity of this body initially is 0. It doesn't have any velocity initially. Immediately after collision I am saying. But after some time, definitely this body also starts movement. But collision ventane, daniki velocity untunda? Undadu. Are you able to understand what is happening? So therefore, the initial velocity of second body is how much? 0 immediately after collision. Now substitute in this equation. So velocity of center of mass is equals to mass of the first body is m and its velocity is v0. That's all, no? Mass of the second body is 2m and its velocity is 0 divided by m plus 2m. m plus 2m is how much? 3m. So m into v0 divided by 3m. So m gets cancelled. So it is v0 divided by 3. So therefore, this is the velocity of center of mass, v0 divided by 3. Are you able to understand ma? First make a note up to here. అర్థమైంది కదా ఎలా చేసాము? క్లియర్ మా? సో వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ దిస్ క్యాల్కులేషన్ ఇమ్మీడియట్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ కొలిషన్. Then this is the velocity of center of mass. Then after some time what will happen? After some time, velocity of this center of mass, will it remain constant or not? Idi na question, cheppandi. So this is the calculation we have done immediately after collision. Only first body's velocity is v0, second body's velocity is 0. Then after some time, after let us call some 4 seconds, velocity of center of mass, will it remain to be v0 by 3 or not? No. Why?
Second mass also.
Oh, let second mass move. What is your problem?
Center of mass also.
Center of mass velocity will never change. Why? Center of mass velocity will change only when external forces are acting. If velocity should increase, there should be some external force, no? If velocity should decrease, then also there should be some external force according to Newton's first law. If you don't apply force on any body, velocity of that body, will it change? No. Then even after 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds also, velocity remains to be v0 divided by 3. Okay? Because after collision, are there any external forces acting on the system? External forces are not there. So velocity of center of mass will never change. Are you able to understand? So make a note of that point also. So as F external is equal to 0 after collision, velocity of center of mass does not change.
velocity of center of mass does not change. It remains to be a constant. అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? That's it. Second question is, what is the maximum elongation which is produced in the spring? That's what he is asking now. So this spring gets compressed by how much value? That is the question which he is asking. Are you able to understand? Now can you say, how can I do this problem? How can I calculate the elongation, the compression, maximum compression produced in the spring? ఎలా చేయొచ్చు చెప్పండి. Seema, this body, it comes and strikes this mass, no? This body comes and strikes this mass. Because masses are equal and it is an elastic collision, velocity of this body will become zero, no? After collision, velocity of this body will become zero. Now this body, it starts traveling with a velocity of v0. That's all. First body, it starts traveling with a velocity of v0. Okay. When it starts traveling with a velocity of v0, what happens to the spring? Spring slowly gets compressed, no? Spring gets compressed. If a spring gets compressed, restoring force will act in which direction? Can you say? So this is the initial position, no? Mass m, and this is the spring. So listen very, very carefully, ma. So this is mass 2m. So they are present on this system. Now after collision, what happens is, so this mass, it starts a compression. This spring starts compression. Are you able to understand, ma? So there is a small compression, no? Okay. So when this spring starts compression, what will be the direction of restoring force? Compression is in this direction, no? Immediately restoring force will be in opposite direction. That's all, Nama. If spring compresses in this direction, restoring force will be in opposite direction. So on this side, restoring force is in this direction. Then what is the restoring force on the other side? On the other side, restoring force will be in opposite direction. Already we studied, no? So in a spring, restoring forces are always equal and opposite. Spring lo restoring forces ela untayi? They are always equal and they are always opposite also. On this side, restoring force is in this direction. On the other side, restoring force will be in opposite direction, but magnitude wise they will be same. If this is Fr, this is also Fr only. Okay. Now what this restoring force will do? Ee restoring force em chestundi cheppandi. This restoring force will push this mass to m. Are you able to understand? Ee restoring force em chestundi? Ee mass 2m ni ee vaipu push chestundi. So that is why this body also starts traveling with a particular acceleration. Are you able to understand? What happens to the velocity of this body slowly? Velocity of this body reduces. And what happens to the velocity of this body? Velocity of this body increases. Are you able to understand? Finally, at maximum compression, both of them will have same velocity. Are you able to understand what is happening? So I will write here. So velocity of this is first body, this is second body. Okay, ma? So velocity of first body starts decreasing. First body ఏమవుతుంది? Velocity of first body starts decreasing. And what happens to the velocity of second body, ma? Velocity of second body starts increasing. Are you able to understand what is happening? Because this restoring force is opposing the motion of this body, no? See the direction of restoring force. But what is the velocity of this body? Velocity is in this direction, no? But restoring force is in opposite direction. So what happens to the velocity of first body, ma? It slowly decreases, but in same direction. What about velocity of this body? This restoring force is pushing this body, no? So velocity of this body continuously increases. Okay. So velocity of one body is decreasing, velocity of second body is increasing. So after some time, can you say what will happen? So velocity of one body is decreasing, velocity of second body is increasing. After some time, can you say what will happen? కాసేపటి తర్వాత ఏం జరుగుతుందో చెప్పండి. If velocity of one body is decreasing and velocity of one body is increasing, then what will happen? So let us consider velocity of first body is 10, velocity of second body is 0. So after some time, its velocity is 9, its velocity is 1. After some, its velocity is 8, its velocity is 2. After some time, 7, 3. After some time, it is 6, it is how much? 4. After some time, 5. And after some time, 5. What do you understand? Velocities of both bodies will become equal. After some time, what happens? Velocity of both bodies will become equal.
and that is the condition where the spring has compressed by maximum value. సో ఎప్పుడైతే బాడీస్ యొక్క వెలాసిటీస్ ఈక్వల్ అవుతాయో అక్కడే మ్యాక్సిమం కంప్రెషన్ వచ్చి ఉంటుంది. ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్? బికాస్ ఇట్స్ వెలాసిటీ స్లోలీ ఇంక్రీజింగ్, ఇట్స్ వెలాసిటీస్ స్లోలీ డిక్రీజింగ్. సో ఇది స్లోగా వెళుతుంటుంది, ఇది మ్యాక్సిమం కంప్రెస్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో వెన్ వెలాసిటీస్ విల్ బికమ్ ఈక్వల్, then maximum compression comes into action. Are you able to understand now? So write down. So therefore what we write, after some time velocities will become what ma? Velocities will become equal. Okay, and can you say what is that velocity? What is that velocity ma? And that velocity is velocity of center of mass. For both these bodies there will be some center of mass, no? Center of mass is traveling with how much velocity? v0/3. So when velocities of both the masses have become equal, then that is the velocity of center of mass only, no? Are you able to understand? And what is the value of center of mass? v0/3. This already we have calculated, no? Okay, so here compression will be maximum. Here compression will be maximum. Are you able to understand ma? So at which condition compression will be maximum ma? When velocities of both bodies have become equal. At that condition velocity will be always compression will be always maximum. Are you able to understand? Okay, so we have calculated up to here. Understood now all the conditions what is happening? So out of total 50 questions in the NEET examination, or out of 25 questions in the mains examination, at least you will get one question on springs. Springs paina khachitanga oka question vastundi. Okay, and what is the concept of springs? Here I have explained you very clearly. Understood now ma? So velocity of one mass decreases, velocity of other mass increases. So slowly compression happens, and when velocities of both bodies is equal, then there will be a condition of maximum compression. Are you able to understand? Okay, so I have done the calculation up to here. Now can you say how can I proceed in this problem? Completed? Now how can I proceed in the problem? How can I calculate what is the maximum compression produced? Anybody? Okay, but FR value I don't know. Restoring force I don't know, no? Any other method? Support. Already చెప్పినాను కదా మీకు, ఏ దారి లేనప్పుడు గోదారి. యూజ్ లా ఆఫ్ కన్జర్వేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ, అది మాత్రం ఉంటుంది కదా ఇప్పుడు. ఓకేమా? సో యూజింగ్ లా ఆఫ్ కన్జర్వేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ. ఓకేమా? Law of conservation of energy is such a concept where you can use it always, anywhere. Are you able to understand ma? Most important concept in the case of physics, law of conservation of energy. Now see, so in this total system, external forces, are they present ma? No, gravitational force is there, no? Gravitational force is there, no? But gravitational force is acting in downwards direction, no ma? Bodies are moving in this direction. So angle between them is 90, cos 90 is 0, so gravitational force cannot do any work. Are you able to understand? Gravitational force is definitely present, but it cannot do any work. So we need not consider gravitational force. So we say external forces are 0. Are you able to understand? But spring force is there. Spring force is what kind of force? Spring force is a conservative force. So if only conservative forces are acting, what can I do? I can use law of conservation of mechanical energy. Already we studied in work power energy number. If only conservative forces are acting, why don't you use law of conservation of mechanical energy? What is law of conservation of mechanical energy? So K1 plus U1 is equals to K2 plus U2. So this is the law, this is the equation before collision. Clear ma? And this equation you have to write after collision. Okay, now substitute. So before collision, how many energies were there? Before collision, how many energies were there? Before collision, Chapali, chudandi. Before collision, how many energies were present? Only this body was traveling, no? Idi matrame travel avutundi before collision. And what is the kind of energy it is having? Kinetic energy. So only kinetic energy was present. So therefore K1, initial kinetic energy is half m V naught square. That's all, Nama. So, what is the initial potential energy? 0. There is no potential energy. Understood? No? Because spring still, it did not compress. No? So, initial potential energy is 0. Final kinetic energy. After collision, what is happening? After collision, this body goes into rest position. No? And after some time, both bodies, they have started traveling with a common velocity. Both of them started traveling with a common velocity. And what is that common velocity? V naught by 3. Velocity of center of mass is equals to V naught divided by 3. Understood, Nama? So therefore, what are the total masses? M and 2m. Clear, Nama? So half m plus 2m and traveling with a common velocity of center of mass square. This is K. What is U2 final potential energy? Spring has compressed, no? Spring has compressed by maximum value. So if spring has compressed, that is potential energy. Able to understand, ma? Then what is the potential energy? Half K x naught square. Are you able to understand? Now just substitute all of them in this equation. Then you should get this x naught value. That's all. That is my answer. Okay. Come and do the calculation. So substitute all the values. So initial kinetic energy half m V naught square. Initial potential energy is 0. Final kinetic energy is half into 3m into V center of mass square plus final potential energy is equals to half K x naught square. Clear, Nama? Calculate x naught value. That is my required answer. Understood, Nama? So the answer which you should get is V naught into square root of 2m by 3k. V naught into square root of 2m divided by 3k. That is the answer which you should get. Okay? Understood, Nama, how we have done the calculation? So start from somewhere, then you will understand what is happening. Okay? Okay, ma? So let us see this question, ma. So particle 1 experiences a perfectly elastic collision with a stationary particle. Masses are not given. What are the masses of the particles? It is not given. Clear, Nama? So determine their mass ratio if the particles fly symmetrically relative to their initial motion with an angle of divergence 60 degrees. What is the meaning of this one? Sigma. So consider this is a first particle and this is a second particle. Okay, ma? So it is in rest position. So what is its initial velocity? Its initial velocity also we don't know. Let it be u. So let it be mass m1 and let it be mass m2. Okay. So after collision, what is happening after collision? One body is traveling in this direction, second body is traveling in this direction. Clear, Nama? So therefore, what are their angles? Their total angle of divergence is 60 degrees, Nama. Are you able to understand? So I can say this angle is 30 degrees and this angle is again equal to 30 degrees. Are you able to understand, ma? So this is the given question. Then what we are supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out the ratio of m1 divided by m2. This is what we are supposed to calculate. Clear, Nama? And it is what kind of collision? He said it is perfectly elastic collision. So if it is elastic collision, what we are supposed to do? If it is elastic collision, what we are supposed to do? Answer. So you calculate momentum along x-axis. It should be conserved, no? Because whatever may be the type of collision, momentum is always conserved, no? So calculate momentum along x-axis, it should be conserved. Calculate momentum along y-axis, it also should be conserved. Then see if you can get the ratio of m1 by m2. Okay, ma? Still if you are not getting the ratio of m1 by m2, then take energy equation. Elastic collision, no? Energy is always conserved. So take energy equation. So from first equation, second equation, third equation, try to find out the ratio of m1 by m2. Will you try? Try cheyandi mari. Angles are given 30 and 30. Clear, ma? 2 minutes try. Okay. So let us see, ma, how we can calculate. See, ma, there is no idea about velocities, ma, here. Initial velocity also we don't know. Finally they will be traveling with velocities v1 and v2, no? These velocities also we don't know. Okay. But we know one thing, that momentum is always conserved, no? So take momentum equation along x-axis and take momentum equation along y-axis. Clear, Nama? Now see. So therefore, so along x-axis, let us write the momentum equation. So m1 u1. So mass of first body is m1 and its velocity is u. This is my assumed velocity. Velocity of second body is 0, no? So finally it is 0. Now if I split this one into two components, so on x-axis I will get v1 cos 30, no? So therefore m1 v1 cos 30. Splitting, you know, no? I am not doing once again. Similarly, what is the velocity of second body along x-axis? v2 cos 30. That's all, no? Now do this calculation. So therefore m1 into u is equals to m1 v1 into cos 30 value root 3 by 2 plus m2 I forgot here. So m2 multiplied by v2 cos 30. So this is the equation we got. Cos 30 value again, it is root 3 divided by 2. So let it be my first equation. So can I do anything? We'll see afterwards. Similarly, you take momentum equation along y-axis. Are you able to understand, ma? So along y-axis, initially this body doesn't have any velocity, no? It is traveling along x-axis. Similarly, this body also doesn't have any velocity along y-axis. So only after collision only they will have velocities along y-axis. Clear, no? If you take this velocity, you can split into two components, no? So what is this one? This is v1 sin 30. What about this velocity? This velocity also again you can split into two components. If this is 30 degrees, if this is v2, again this is v2 sin 30. That's all, no? So therefore, initial momentum along y-axis is 0 for first body as well as second body. But finally, this body is having positive momentum, no? Because its velocity is in upward direction. So therefore, I will write m1 v1 sin 30 minus, now this is in negative direction, no? v2 sin 30. So therefore, you write down, so m2 v2 sin 30. Are you able to understand? So I got equations up to here. So therefore, m1 v1 sin 30 is equals to m2 v2 sin 30. Are you able to understand? So therefore, sin 30 and sin 30 will get cancelled. So therefore, what is the equation I will get, ma? I will get m1 v1 is equals to m2 v2. So this is the relation which I got. Clear, no? So therefore, let it be my second equation. Okay. So this is my first equation and this is my second equation I got up to here. Now see how many unknown quantities are there, ma? So m1, m2, v1 and v2, u also is an unknown quantity. So instead of m1 v1, here I can substitute m2 v2. Then let us see. If I take root 3 by 2 common, then m1 v1 plus m2 v2 I will get. Okay, let us see. So from this equation, let us do one thing, ma. So let us take root 3 by 2 if I take common from first equation, ma. Root 3 by 2 if I take common, then I am left with m1 v1 plus m2 v2, which is equals to m1 into u. Okay. So instead of m1 v1, I can write m2 v2 also, no? According to second equation. So let us substitute here. So root 3 by 2 multiplied by m1 v1 plus, instead of again m2 v2, I can again write down m1 v1 only, because both of them they are equal, no? So this is again equal to m1 into u. Okay. So m1, 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 if they get cancelled, then what I will get? So root 3 divided by 2 is equals to 2v1, multiplied by 2v1 is equal to u. Okay, ma? So 2 and 2 get cancelled. So therefore, what is the equation I got, ma? I got v1 is equals to u divided by root 3. So let it be my third equation. Are you able to understand? Understood, Nama, how we are proceeding? Just by taking the results only, we are trying to solve this problem. Okay. So I got equation up to here. Now still there are many unknown quantities, Nama. So what I will do, I will take another equation. Which equation shall I take? I will take law of conservation of kinetic energy. Or just kinetic energy conservation I will take. Okay.
So what is kinetic energy equation? So half m1 v1 u1 square plus half m2 v2 u2 square is equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So half m1 into initial velocity is u square and second body is in rest position, no? So its velocity kinetic energy is 0. So after collision, half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So kinetic energy doesn't have any direction number, so you need not split that one into components. Directly you take energy equation. Okay. So I got equation up to here. Now let us see what we can do. Okay, ma?
So U is equal to
I will do one thing. Take this u value. U value is which one? అది అక్కడన చేయొచ్చు. So let us proceed. How we can do?
so U is equal to
Root 3 into V1 we can write. So here from this equation I will write m1 by m2 is equals to V2 divided by V1, and here also I will try to convert everything in terms of V1 and V2 only, ma. So from this equation I get Vu is equals to root 3 into V1. Root 3 into V1. Let us try to substitute. So half m1 into initial velocity is 3v1 or root 3 v1 square is equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. Okay. So therefore half m1 into 3v1 square is equals to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. Clear now? So therefore 3 by 2 m1 v1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 v1 square is equals to half m2 v2 square. So let us take 1 by 2 m1 v1 square common, ma. Then 3 minus 1 is 2 is equals to half m2 v2 square. Half and half get cancelled. Okay. And v1 by v2 value already we have calculated, nama. v1 by v2 is m2 divided by m1. First make a note up to here, then we will solve it. Understood, nama, how we are doing? So from here you will get one relation, no? Okay. In that relation just you substitute this value, then you will get the required answer. Okay. Okay. So from that what is the answer I got? I got m1 by m2 into 2 is equals to v2 divided by v1 whole square. That is what I get, nama. So v2 by v1 already we have calculated, no, it is m1 by m2. So take this value, substitute here. So m1 divided by m2 into 2 is equals to m1 by m2 whole square. So one m1 m2 another square will get cancelled. So finally I will get m1 by m2 is 2. That is my required answer. Understood, no?